Welcome to an introduction to SciVerse applications. In this presentation, we will demonstrate what SciVerse applications are, where they appear within the SciVerse suite, and give an introduction on how to create them. But first, let's discuss what SciVerse is. SciVerse brings together content from three main Elsevier products. ScienceDirect is Elsevier's repository of full-text articles from over 2,000 journals and thousands of books. Scopus is the world's largest abstract and citation database. It consists of millions of abstracts, as well as millions of author and affiliation profiles. And finally, the SciVerse Hub allows a user to perform a search across both the ScienceDirect and Scopus content, as well as content from the SciVerse Scientific Web Index. We will now discuss what SciVerse applications are and how they are integrated into the SciVerse product suite. The SciVerse application framework is an extension of the Apache Shindig container, which is an implementation of the OpenSocial specification. The Google Gadgets API is a part of this specification. Gadgets are defined in XML and are really just wrappers around HTML and JavaScript. Gadgets can contain client-side code or simply display the contents of an existing URL. SciVerse applications are really just gadgets which are integrated into key locations in the SciVerse product suite. Each gadget is rendered in its own iframe by the Shindig container. The extensions provided by the SciVerse framework allow the gadgets to access data about the page as well as interact with the page. For example, a gadget can access the search terms entered by a user, run a search against an open API, and display the results in a pop-up window on the page. This diagram shows the architecture of the SciVerse applications framework. SciVerse applications run within the Shindig container and can access information on the page using the framework APIs. They can also utilize resources available on the web. One resource that SciVerse has made available on the web are the SciVerse Content APIs, which allow users to access Elsevier content via a set of RESTful APIs. Gadgets can be defined in many different ways. HTML gadgets have all their code defined within the Gadget XML specification. This slide shows the typical structure of an HTML gadget. Notice the content element. It has a type equal to HTML. A type equal HTML gadget must include a CData section, and any HTML or JavaScript must go within that section. The module pref section of the XML is where features used by the gadget are defined. In this example, we define the SciVerse and Hub feature, although they aren't actually used in this gadget. Another type of gadget is a URL gadget. In a URL gadget, content lives on a remote web page referenced by a URL in the gadget specification. The remote web page is where all the HTML markup and JavaScript resides. You cannot put any HTML markup or JavaScript code in the gadget specification. The JavaScript code in the remote web page cannot utilize the Gadgets API or the provided SciVerse extensions. Information can be passed to the URL on the query string. In this example, we pass the article's DOI to the URL. The final type of gadget is a mixture of HTML and URL gadgets. Proxied content gadgets get some or all of their content from a remote web page. The contents of the specified URL are used as the contents of the gadget specification and can utilize the gadget's API and SciVerse extensions. A proxied content gadget is specified in the content element using type equal HTML and by specifying an href. Next, we'll discuss where SciVerse applications appear in the SciVerse product suite, known as integration points, as well as what views, which are defined in the gadget specification, display at each of these integration points. There are 4 view types that can be specified in a SciVerse application. The profile view is the toolbar view. This is the main view of a gadget and is the view that is displayed when the gadget is first rendered in the toolbar. It is displayed in many locations within the SciVerse suite. The canvas view is the maximized view of the gadget. It opens when the application is maximized. The SciVerse results view is the under search result view. Gadgets which run on the search results pages can choose to display themselves under one, all, or a select number of search results on the page. Finally, the hover view is the view displayed when the gadget chooses to display itself in a pop-up window. The following slides present screenshots of some of the integration points in the SciVerse product suite. This is the Hub homepage integration point. The profile view of each gadget is displayed at this location. Here is the Hub search results page. The toolbar on the left displays the profile view of each application. In addition, each application can choose to display themselves in the SciVerse results view under each search result. This is the ScienceDirect search results page. Again, the profile view of the apps is displayed in the toolbar. The under search results location is also available on this page. This is the ScienceDirect full text article page. Profile views of each app are displayed in the toolbar. Here's the Scopus abstract page with the profiles views of each app again displayed in the toolbar. This slide demonstrates the canvas view, which is the full screen view of each gadget. Gadgets can also choose to open up windows, known as hover windows. The hover view defined in the gadget specification is displayed in this location. SciVerse provides two sets of APIs. The Framework APIs are an extension of the Google Gadgets API and allow applications to interact with the SciVerse page. The Content APIs are a set of RESTful APIs that allow users to directly access Elsevier content. Searches can be performed and documents can be retrieved using the Content APIs. The Framework APIs can be broken into three main categories. Context APIs allow the gadget to retrieve contextual information about the page. Some examples include retrieving the article content displayed, as well as retrieving the search results displayed on the page. UI APIs allow gadgets to alter the user interface. This includes creating hyperlinks for specific terms on the page, as well as providing autocomplete query suggestions, among other things. Utility APIs allow the gadgets to perform tasks like making requests to content APIs or to external APIs. Also, gadgets can use these APIs to control their own visibility. Content APIs allow the gadgets to execute searches against specific Elsevier content as well as retrieve specific content. The tables on this slide show the format of the URLs used to perform searches and to retrieve content. In order to use the Content APIs, gadgets need to provide two pieces of information: an API key for the gadget and an authentication token. The API key is assigned to the gadget when the SciVerse application project is created. It will need to be hard-coded within the gadget specification. The authentication token contains information about the current user's entitlements. The authentication token will need to be retrieved from the context information on the page using the getContextInfo API. Results from the Content APIs will be restricted to the content available to the user as defined by the authentication token. Here you can see some sample code showing how a Content API call is made. Context information can be retrieved from the page using the getContextInfo. Here we show how to retrieve the auth token as well as how to retrieve the search query used by the user. The context info method is called from the onload handler and specifies a callback method. The callback method is called by the container and is passed a JSON object containing the context information available on the current page. Context information can also be retrieved using user preferences. Hidden user preferences must be defined with names that match the context information available. This slide shows how to define those user preferences. Preferences can be accessed using the gadgets.prefs, as shown on line 15. This concludes our presentation on SciVerse applications. There are many resources available for Google Gadgets API. We've also included several resources specific to SciVerse applications. I hope you will find these resources useful in your efforts to create your own SciVerse application. Thank you.